everyone, and welcome to a very special episode. I can't wait for this one. We're here with Yvon Barrette, but you know him from the greatest hockey movie of all time, greatest sports movie of all time, rookie goalie, Denis Lemieux. But before we get going, we're going to square away two things before this podcast is over. You're going to learn all the finer points in hockey, and we're finally going to realize who owns the Chiefs. So, Yvon, I'm so happy to have you. I say that all the time with everybody that comes on, but this is a whole nother level of hockey love, movie love. We reviewed this movie on our podcast. We got our Chiefs jerseys on. Everybody's representing, so we can't wait to talk to you and also your alter ego, rookie goalie, Denis Lemieux from the Charlestown Chiefs.
You're more than welcome, Andrew.
So,
That's fun. I
let
started doing podcasts when we had the pandemic. I did podcasts all around the world, even one in Honolulu, because there is an American Army base in Honolulu, and one of the soldier was a huge hockey fan, and he knew Slapshot, and he finally found me in Gaspésie, just like you did, and that was fun. Yeah,
so
everywhere.
before we get going, you have your son with you, and we were talking before we started recording about you have a website for hardcore slapshot fans, hockey fans, movie collectible fans, and I want to talk real quick before we get into the movie about the movie memorabilia that you have, and I don't know if you just want to mention the website. It's DenisLemieux.com, and the memorabilia I've been on there. It's all personalized, and there's some really cool stuff on there. So I don't know if you want to mention it. A couple of things that are on there about personalization.
Blaise?
Okay, well, I actually built the website, so it's really a family thing. The website is really it's me and Yvon. We created the website together. I did the programming and yeah, it's we tried. It's denislemieux.com. So when you're on the website, what we trying to do is that you feel like you are spending time with Denis Lemieux. So all the wording is in Denis language, and there is also even a chat bot that you can it's a little beige phone that you will recognize from the movie. If you click on this, you can talk with Denis Lemieux. I think you're gonna have quite a laugh. It's pretty good. It's using AI, of course, but it's quite nicely tuned. But the chatbot can be useful as well. If you're tracking your order, he can help you with all sorts of things, direct you in the website, and so yeah. And of course, I think it's the best place to buy pictures. First of all, the pictures are great quality. They're super clean, super crisp, and on very good photo paper, so they last a very long time. And of course, Yvon, if you buy from Denis Lemieux, you know that it'll be signed by Denis himself.
No, we are recording. The little phone is like the one I used to say, "Treat me right, fucking man." Let's don't be quiet, Yvon.
Yeah,
So
and
I went to the phone, touched the phone, and start talking to Denis Lemieux. He said, "Hello, Denis, how are you? I am Yvon Barrette." He said, "Oh, the actor who's in my character. How are you?" So that's a place to laugh.
we're laughing already.
Yes.
I was laughing when we talked when we were speaking before we even started recording, when we were corresponding back and forth, you had me laughing a couple times because as soon as I saw your face and I recognized the voice, I said, "Look at this guy! I know this. I've never met this guy, but I know this guy." It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah. That
So
line is everywhere in the world.
there's so many
That's
lines.
crazy. That's completely crazy. I was in Germany with Tiger Williams and other uh, fantastic hockey players from the Maple Leafs, and there were 30,000 people in the arena in Australia. Those two guys came in and they did not knew them, but when I walked in with my jersey, Denis Lemieux written in the back, they all start laughing. You know? That's unbelievable. And I take that jersey off, and I'm off the game. I'm not there anymore. I'm not Paul Newman. That was so fantastic to work with Paul Newman. You know, I'm an actor, and they went in Quebec because they were looking for a short, squat French Canadian to portray the goalie. In Johnstown, the goalie was a French Canadian guy, and he lives in Abitibi, but he was not an actor, and I had the acting job to do in that character. And I was studying at the National Theatre School to start my acting career. And Newman was one of my American idols. He was fantastic. He started the Actors Studio in New York with a lot of other great actors. And I live in Gaspésie, which is 500 miles east of Montreal, in a little town. I'm still there, 50 years after. And I received a call at 9 o'clock in the morning from somebody from the Union des Artistes in Montreal. And she asked me, would you like to do a movie with Paul Newman? I said, sure. And I closed the phone because I was helping one of my friends with his animals. And when I came back, my wife was, Yvonne, come here. That's very serious. You have to call back Donald Pilon, a French Canadian actor with whom I had done a few movies. And he was with George Hill and Mike Fenton. Mike Fenton was the casting director. He was the casting director of One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest. And when he was looking for a character, he had to find it. You know, that's this type of guy. So Donald told me, Yvonne, that's very serious. Your ticket is at Montjoli Airport, and you have to be at the Ritz-Carlton in Montreal for 6 o'clock tonight. And I made it.
Wow.
So Mike Fenton said, how did you make it? He said, you might be tired. So he brought me to a brasserie to have a little lunch, but I was not hungry at all. I said, please tell me about the movie. What's that movie about? Is it a Western? What it is? And he told me the old stories. Well, the movie starts on you, and ta-da-ta, and told me all the story. We went back to his room. I read the script from one page to the last one, and around midnight, I auditioned with doing the opening scene, and Mike gave me the lines. So the same day at 12:30 at night, I knew I was going to be Denis Lemieux.
That's
All
awesome.
in one day.
So I got to ask you about the Denis Lemieux character. When you first read how he was, were you all in with it? Were you like, this is the guy?
You know what? I am an actor, so it's possible for me to forget my own ego to become somebody else. And I think that's a big opportunity that character gave me. I was not a hockey player. I was ready to do my own stunts in the goal. But the last day before we start shooting, it was Saturday afternoon. We were in an arena in a little town not far from Johnstown. I was in the goal, wearing my equipment for the first time. George O'Hill was on the ice too with the players and the actors, and he asked everybody, please don't slap shot Yvon from inside the blue line. Okay. I was in the goal. Jerry Hauser was a little excited being on the ice. He came maybe 10 feet in front of me and slap shot me. And I made the save with the interior part of the knee.
Oh,
But
yes.
I was missing a part of equipment. So I fell on the ice almost crying. George O'Hill came to me and said, are you okay, Yvon? I said, I made the save. So he sent me to the Johnstown hospital with his limousine and his chauffeur. And I was there and very nervous because the shooting was not even start and I wasn't there. So they're gonna take somebody else and da da da. And they asked the hockey team goal doctor to come and check my knee and da da da. And he put me on crutches for 3 weeks. And we were starting Monday. It was Saturday afternoon. So I went back to the hotel. I was in my bed. Lindsay Krause came to me and she said, Yvon, I'm gonna change your eyes and take care of you. And yes, but I was almost depressed. And then, surprise, Paul Newman entered the room with a fruit basket and a bottle of Fin Napoleon. Then it was George Royal with the Screw magazine. He said, you will have some good time. And a few minutes later, all the other players from the team came into the room and they had composed a song for me just to tell me that there were no problem. I will be Denis Lemieux. I was so impressed by that that gentleness, that it was unbelievable. It was, and when you feel that sort of emotion, you have to be the best.
Yep.
Just to show them that they were right. And I think that's what I did.
So, Vaughn, that's almost like even though it was a movie, it was almost like a team bonding, like it actually happens in real hockey. And
Yeah,
it's kind of
absolutely. Yeah,
it
yeah,
it's a
absolutely. And yeah, the hockey player were helping the actors, and the actors were helping the hockey players. We became like brothers, and it will be 50 years that we made that movie. But since 2002, we are doing fundraising. And it all start when somebody who became a friend, Ken Blake, saw some picture that Blaise I put of the characters or portrait in the Quebec movie. And the last one I had done, I was a patriot with a big bird and
Beard, big beard.
yeah. And he said, "Were you the goalie in Slapshot?" I said, "Yes." "Would you like to sign puck for me?" I said, "Why?" I'm not a collector, not at all. And that was the first time a movie was coming back to me from 76 to 2001. So he sent me the pucks. He was working for a coffee company. And I signed the puck. What do you want me to sign in the puck? I said, Denis Lemieux, number one, Yvon Barrette, da, da, da. And I signed the puck and I put some call sheet from the movie. And from those call sheets, was able to be in touch with most of the actors. And doing that, he met the two sisters, the two blonde sisters, Louise and Janet Arthurs, and realized that Louise was having multiple sclerosis.
Oof.
And Ken is a very sensitive guy, so he came back to me and he said, "Yvon, would you mind help me to raise money for Louise through the Slapshot funds?" I gave my original script, and everybody did give a jersey or something from the movie. And for the first time since 77, at the premiere in Montreal, the first reaction I had at the premiere, that's unbelievable. We were in the hall waiting to see the people. They were shooting at 5:30, and the premiere was at 7:30. Nancy Dowd was there, Alan Nichols, Jean Tétrault. We were all there expecting to see big laugh. The first guy who came out of the theater was an Irish guy, maybe 70 years old, a huge fan of the Montreal Canadiens. And he walked straight to me and he said, "You're a disgrace for hockey."
Gee.
I was expecting fun.
Listen, I disagree totally. That movie is it is
Yes,
some
but I was not used to cult movie. Yeah, I never did other cult movies. But doing signing the pucks for Ken Blake, and we went back for the first time one night in Philadelphia. Louise was dropping the puck from her wheelchair, and the day after we went back to Johnstown where we had done shoot a movie, and in 2 games we raised $25,000 to help Louise. So I said, "Wow, there is something to do with that movie."
Absolutely.
yeah,
And
that
we since 2001, 4 times in Germany, one in Australia, and we did at least 5 or 6 fundraisings every summer with sport
Events.
Blue Ball, yeah, sports event.
so
So
oh go
here
ahead,
we are
Evan.
talking about Snapchat.
Uh before I take over the whole podcast with my side of the slapshot questions, I want Tom and Ed to ask a few. Tom, what do you got for Vaughn?
Sure. What was your initial reaction to the script when you first read it? Did you think it would become what it did?
I thought it was brilliant, and it's still in my mind uh, the most brilliant script about hockey. Every hockey team watch it in the bus when they are going to play somewhere. Yeah. When there was a bus accident in Saskatchewan a few years ago, they found the DVD of Slapshot just by the bus. It's it's in Germany, it's in Sweden, it's everywhere. I had to learn German lines instead of who owns the Chiefs. Wem gehört the Chief? Gehren, Gehren.
We'll get to the bottom of that too. Ed, question for Yvon.
Sure, Yvon. Did you play growing up? Did you play any hockey where you could kind of derive some of your experience growing up playing hockey by to the movie?
I did play a little hockey, but that was not my favorite sport. Basketball and football were my sports. That's it. But anyway, the thing is, as soon as I wrote the script, I read the script, I became a hockey player. I had the opportunity to share my life in Johnstown with Jean Tétrault, who was playing for the Jets. And he was one of the best players of the Jets at this time. So I was following that guy everywhere, and I became like a hockey player minded. that's it, and it's still there. You know.
I got to ask you about Paul Newman. Like, what was your overall experience with Paul Newman? I know you touched on it a little bit, but was he very welcoming with all of the hockey players? Because I had heard that he got the role because he could actually skate. And when before he passed away, he said out of all the movies he ever did, that was his personal favorite because it was closest to his heart. So between like all the great movies that Cool Hand Luke, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, that's the movie that sticks out in his mind as his favorite movie he ever did. That says something. So thoughts on Paul Newman overall on the set?
Yeah, it was so nice to work with. You know, we had that scene to shoot, the bar scene. Okay. And he said, Yvon, would you come to my room? We'll work on that scene. We have to shoot it. Yeah. I said, yes, sure. He was the simplest guy I ever met as an actor. No ego. He was funny. That's all. He was in good shape. He was 52 years old at this point, and he was in very good shape. And I used to have a meeting with him to help him learn French. So he would be able to write some letter in French to his children who were studying French in high schools. And
Very interesting.
the fantastic scene we had to do at the bar when he said, I think that guy is a fire crazy. He has a big cock like a whore. He was unable not to stop laughing. We had some good fun. And when just before we start shooting the movie, the Jets were in finals in series against Buffalo. But it was impossible for him to just come and watch the game in the stands. You know, everybody was running after him with Kodaks and da da da. So I was the guy who came with him in the journalist booth upstairs, and he had a kind of big thermos. It was looking like a gut bag where we were able to put 10 cans of beer in it. so I was the guy who filled the thermos between periods. We were pretty close.
Tom, you're
He
up with a
was so
question.
nice.
Sure. Did they allow you to improvise any lines, or did you have to go straight from the script?
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, that's a short story, but important. When the Jets doctor put me on crutches for 3 weeks, He told me, Yvon, if I see you at the bar, you will be kicked in the ass. That's what he told me. So I was not working the first week. I was at the bar without my crutches. But anyway, I was a young actor, and I had no feeling. Did you like the way I work? Nothing like that. But anyway, I'll tell you a short parenthesis. I am sober for 40 years. I was not. So one night I was at the bar and I stupidly decided to call George Royal, the director, at his room. He said,
At what time in the morning?
no, at 12, around midnight. And he take the phone and said, hello? Oh, it's Yvon, I would like to talk to you. What do you want to talk about? See you at breakfast. I have to be at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. I said, oh, yes. No, I was realizing the mistake. So the morning after, I went to the breakfast. And when he saw me coming in, he stood up and walked to me. He said, what do you want to talk about? I'll call you tonight. So we became very close together. And you see, when you ask, did I add some? We had to dress as a goalie at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was around 6 o'clock. They were shooting scenes in the locker room. I was dressed as a goalie, sitting in front of the locker room, waiting for my scene. I had to do a scene, And George Royal, when the scene was shoot, when they were over, he came to me and said, Yvon, forget the lines. Do me an epileptic crisis. So that's where,
Ed,
they make
question.
me puke all the time.
Yvon, are you surprised on how almost after 50 years, how much you touch generations of hockey fans?
Yeah. I was always a hockey fan. I'm still a hockey fan. 2 years ago, I was invited by the Montreal Canadiens as a surprise in the locker room. They were playing again the Hurricanes. And that was fantastic. I was called to tell the starting lineup.
That's awesome.
But I start by saying, hey guys, you have to avoid penalties tonight. You're fighting in Hurricane. And I end the talk by saying, but please don't trade me right fucking now. No,
what? Go ahead. I got to ask you.
No, it's okay.
So there's so many memorable parts with you in the movie. Is there anything that you know of for all the people that are diehard Slapshot fans that got cut out of the movie? Is there any really good scenes that were cut right out of the movie that you would love to see them add back in?
The script was respected, really, from the bottom to the end. And sometimes when I was talking with Yvan Ponton, who was playing the French guy who doesn't speak at all. I had to tell him in French and go and write what I had said into the script. And Judge Hill came to me and said, Yvon, what did you write? Is it good? I said, "Okay." But later in the movie, he came to me and said, Yvon, be careful, you speak too well.
You gotta go PP. No, I'm okay.
Uh,
Tom, question for Yvon.
Sure.
uh,
Was there any scenes that you had at the time that were especially challenging? Because none of you weren't really I mean, you did play hockey, but were there any scenes that really you had a hard time with?
uh, not really. Because Universal never put me in situation that might bring me unfeeling well. They finally understood that I was better to, and I was doubled by Ron Dawkin, who was the first one goalie with the Jets.
Wow.
And he was lefty and right hand, so it was impossible for me to get back in the goals. Anyway, he did the dangerous job, and very well. Yeah.
Eddie, question for Yvon.
Sure. Yvon, what was your favorite scene out of the whole movie? Whether you were in it or it was just when you saw the whole movie put together, what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene. For me, the opening scene, yeah, brings the movie in and brings the ladies in the hockey world. And, and I shoot that scene at the end of the movie, maybe one of the last days. And when we rehearsed the movie before starting shooting, we went on an army base, and we were rehearsing in the gymnasium. And when we were shooting the opening scene, was sitting on a bench, but we were in a gymnasium, and there were little fontaine just there. So when Andrew Duncan put me the mic and I moved and I went to the fontaine and had some water. And when I came back, he was trying to put me my mic back. But and when we shoot the scene, it was in a radio station, and George Hill had the fontaine put on the wall. And that was one take scene, because when we were rehearsing, I hit the floor with
The hockey stick.
yeah, my hockey stick. But when we start shooting, Andrew became a little nervous and his leg came up, and I hit his leg. So his face changed completely. It was impossible to do that myself.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little frozen here with the internet a little bit, but I just wanted to know like thoughts on the Hanson brothers.
They were young. They were young hockey players, and they were feeling like the stars of the movie. And that's why as soon as the movie was released, they start doing 2 other movies. Publicity. They almost left hockey. But for the people, the funniest character is Denis Lemieux. And that's not my problem. That's the script, you know. And our movie was written because the guy who portrayed Autor is the best. He was the best player of the Jets, but he was so badly injured by a stick in the back. He was supposed to do the Blackhawks at the autumn, but he was unable to go there. So he phoned his daughter Nancy Dowd was in Los Angeles learning how to wrote script. He asked her to come in Johnstown and try to do something from that situation. So she spent a month there putting some tape recorders in the locker rooms. She got the language. She saw that's where it becomes almost a documentary, and that's why Slapshot works.
My next
That's
question was going to be if they ever were to do a remake after 50 years of the exact original movie, would you be for that? If they asked you to come back as yourself, eh, would you be into it?
that might be funny.
It would be
I
funny
was
to
I was
have you
30
as the
years
Joe
old,
McGrath character.
79 now. I don't think so. I don't think so. There are uh, there is something else to do, maybe with the, but try to bring all all good guys together. You know when I saw pictures from Slapshot remade by the IA, Denis Lemieux like a child.
Mhm.
You know, they use our voice. They can do anything with what they have already.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Tom, question for Yvonne?
Yeah. Are you recognized often by fans because of the movie?
Oh yes, for sure. Absolutely. Uh, uh, 2 years ago, the Hanson Brothers came, and we did three Quebec Junior Hockey Town the same weekend. Three different arena. We filled the arenas. We did the drop puck. We were signing pictures all through the game, and it's unbelievable. Dave Hudson said he never knew that it was so popular in Quebec. In
And
Quebec, they did the French translation. That was the first American movie translated in Quebec. You know, in Quebecois. So people are crazy about it.
Eddie, question?
Sure. What is there any talk about everybody getting back together after 50 years to do kind of a reunion show, kind of like what Cheers did, have everybody kind of get up on the stage of all the surviving cast members?
We're all hoping to do something for our 50th anniversary, and we are so we have so much fun when we're together. That's crazy. Blaise came with us in Pittsburgh, and he was on the shooting at 5 years old. Blaise, yeah, he had an argument with Paul Newman in the elevator. He was trying to put a ball in a box, but it was not fitting. So Newman said, "Your box is your box is too big. No, too
No,
small."
well, I don't remember. I was told the story, but he said that the box was too small. the ball was too big, and I said, no, it's the box that is too small.
And one other things, he went on the shooting. He was with us for at least a week or
2 weeks, I think.
He was walking on the ice because when George Will wanted some reaction from the crowd, he has a voice. He said, background action. Okay. So Blaise had a coffee cup. He was walking on the ice. He had took the bottom off and he was saying, background action, background action. Nobody were reacting. So I saw him and I grouped maybe 50 people together and I said, look at him. I will bring him in front of you. And when you'll say background action, throw him papers, everything. So he came in front and said, background action. Anyway, that's a great memory.
Yvon, I got to ask you about all the memorable scenes, like you were talking about the Ned Braden conversation. Uh, is there any scenes that you were doing that you just after you said the lines, everybody couldn't keep a straight face? Like you just have to keep doing it because it was so funny that it was just tough to get people not laughing when you were doing scenes.
Yeah, that was a very special for me. I fly into Johnstown around midnight. I had the last script to read. We were supposed to read the scenes at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was sitting with Newman, George, and I read the opening scene, and they all start laughing. I never saw that before anywhere. But we're still like brothers, and that's what's so different. Yeah, I did maybe 20 movies, but they might not even recognize me.
I got to ask you if the Denis Lemieux character 50 years from the movie, what do you think the Denis Lemieux character would be doing right now?
I don't know. I don't know. It is always with me.
He's not sleeping with old goalies, is he?
I'm so surprised, Even Bobby Hall, they know all the professional hockey players know me, and they like the movie, and it took a while before they accepted. At first I was a disgrace for hockey.
I don't think so. That's just my opinion, but definitely
They
not.
finally realized that I was not a disgrace.
Maybe those Syracuse Bulldogs, but not you guys. You guys are the toughest team in the Federal League.
I think so too.
Tom, question for Yvon.
Sure. How difficult was it for you to do an English language film as a French Canadian?
Oh, it was. At first, I was a little afraid because I thought the joke might be not funny, but it was very well translated, and I came into the studio and did my job, and became familiar with the lines too. I had to, you know, I had been working for so long in English. I thought it was impossible to translate without losing the fun.
Ed, question for Yvon.
I just, I think one of my favorite scenes is when you guys are coming off the ice and you say, "My allergies to the fucking fans has returned." And the first time I saw the movie and I saw you say that, I could not stop laughing when I saw that. And then my second favorite scene was, the hair, the hair.
Yeah, it's
Oh, the
rotten.
air, the air.
Makes
Okay,
me
yeah.
puke all the time.
It's not just that. It's when he comes in the locker room and falls down in the corner and they try to calm him down and nobody really knows what's wrong with him and the sticks are moving on the side. That's priceless. I gotta. Was that ad-libbed?
Yeah, yeah, maybe, yeah. But as I told you, everything was written, except a few ones who George Royal came to me and said, "Forget that and do that." And, but that was close to what was written. And I'm very good at epileptic crisis. So I can do.
And I'm sure, like we were talking about before we started recording, what is the quote that people ask you the most for on an autograph picture?
That's an easy one.
No. The big line is always "Treat me right fucking now." That's it. And the funny thing is that is the same line in French. I asked, "Hey Ned, what's échanger en anglais? Treat me right fucking now."
And
Treat
hang
me
up.
right fucking now.
Nobody ever asked you to write down "Tell Detroit bullshit." Nobody ever asked for that.
I call Detroit, tell them bullshit. I wrote that one too.
Tom, question for Yvon.
Yeah, have you kept in touch with the surviving cast members?
As I told you, we met a few times a year since 2003 to do fundraising, and it's always fantastic. Blaise came with us. It took something like 300 pictures. Look,
That is great.
That's awesome.
yeah, and we have a plan for the 50th anniversary. Some people in the States would like to put all the survivors in a bus to do little towns and do sign in and make a movie out of it,
Oh,
like a documentary. That might, but they have to do it fast.
it's your allergies. It's your allergies.
All my allergies. Those fans makes me puke. Good lines, eh?
Oh, awesome. You didn't even do the "Who owns the Chiefs?" Ah, fuck it. I'll go ask him myself.
Owns.
I don't care who
I don't
owns the
care
Chiefs.
who owns the Chiefs.
Oh my god!
I go to Florida and I get the money.
Awesome. Awesome. Ed, question for Yvon.
Sure. What's your favorite piece of memorabilia that you have for yourself that you want to keep? Like a shirt? Do you have like a goalie pad, a glove, or a blocker?
Ed missed your initial conversation, Vaughn. He wasn't on when we were talking about how Universal is holding you guys hostage with memorabilia.
Okay. Yeah, they kept everything. The
Really?
mask I'm using is the one I had made for my grandson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was impossible to have something else. But no, on our site, you may have mask that I will sign. And
yeah, very cool. Very, very
Yeah.
cool. I love that was the first thing that stuck out to me when I went on the website was the replica skull mask. I love it. I love where the signature is. I love the whole look of it.
Oh yes, even the lines. Photos that we have 12 different photos with lines. Who goes with it?
Nice.
Oh, those. Are you crazy? He has a big cock like oh.
You got to ask yourself the question: if you're writing that on the photo, where's it going? You might not want to.
Anyway,
You might not want to put a
okay.
return address on that one, Yvon.
That's a very, very nice podcast. We have fun that we were supposed to have.
So I want to kind of put this, kind of end it a little bit with talking about the 50th anniversary of it. And what I want to ask you is, I know you were saying about doing a little tour with the guys in a documentary, which I think is fantastic. But in a perfect world, what would you love to see Slapshot do for the 50th anniversary? Because right now, especially where we live, they're doing a big anniversary for Jaws being their 50th year, and you guys are next year. What would you love to see them accomplish for the surviving cast?
But where are you leaving?
We're in the Massachusetts, the Boston area, between Boston and Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay, okay. I don't know, but we're losing people every time. Since Trump is there, I don't feel like traveling in the States. Anyway, we have to go through that situation as fast as possible. He is having worst ideas every day.
And they're not bad hockey ideas either.
Yeah. Then anyway, that's all we want. Nobody's looking for shit. Yeah.
For the 50th anniversary, I would love to see exactly what you guys were presenting, a documentary for the fans. And I would love to see, we were talking about it too before we started recording, about I'd love to see the surviving cast members make a cameo on the Shoresy show as themselves. And that would be fantastic to bring the guys into the fold with relevancy between the old school and the new school, but the same kind of vibe in almost that
That would be
same
nice.
atmosphere. I would
Yeah,
love to
that's a
see.
good idea. What?
Mhm.
I
Good
would
idea.
love to see you guys, the surviving cast, on an episode of that show. Yeah, well, I'd love to have Jared Queso on the show because I'm a big fan too of his stuff, and he's a huge hockey fan also. Yeah, I would love to see him work you guys into a couple episodes where you're involved somehow with the team, or related to, I'll say related to somebody on the show, or something like that. That'd be fantastic. So
Blaise realized that there is something very interesting happening every time we're all together. Memories come from.
I when I met the cast the cast members that are still here. Was it
Pittsburgh.
maybe 2 years ago, for the first time, and so I saw them together. I was witness to that, and the friendship and all the memories, when they start talking about the movie, Yvon has his memories
What I did.
of what he did, but everyone has their own memories of. So when they talk together, that all comes out, and it was quite something to witness. Really, it was and very funny. They all pull their legs and kid each other, and this was a very good time.
Like kids.
Yeah.
It's almost like I said before, it seems like almost like a championship team getting back together after all those years. Even though it was movie related, it seems like right from that first moment with the fruit basket, they kind of set the groundwork of it's almost like an actual team when you see these guys that talk about their Stanley Cup run and how close they are with the alumni after the fact. It seems exactly like that with the cast of the movie, and it wasn't just the guys on the Chiefs that were close. It was everybody from the guys on the Bulldogs. And am I correct with that statement?
Yeah, everyone who have been involved in that movie playing for other teams, or they're all close friends now. Even the people who were in the stands, they were there for all the shooting time because Universal was not paying people. They were having them a chance to win tickets to visit Universal Studios, and even with the fans, we became close. We were invited. I was with Jatetro. He was very well known in Johnstown, and we were invited to have a meal with people. So we were part of the town. Yeah.
Tom, one final question for Yvon before we let him go.
Sure. My last question is, as you're getting older, what does being part of Slapshot mean to you?
You know what? That's the thing that keeps me young. And really, it it that's the only movie who survived all those years.
Mm-hmm.
And everywhere in the world, even in Germany. In Germany, I dress as a goalie. Kerry Goulet made his hockey career in Germany, and we were there 4 times, doing for a week or two every time, doing different towns every night. And the joke was, I dressed as a goalie for the opening scene. I wanted my goal, and hello everybody, ta ta ta. As soon as the game starts, the referee said, "No, stop. He does have the rights to play goalie in Germany. He doesn't have the proper paper." So I start running after Kerry Goulet. "What have you done? I am in Germany and I cannot play. What's the problem?" And Kerry said, "Okay, what can I do?" And they sent two polizei with their car on the ice, who start following me and trying to stop me, and they grabbed me. And one night, one of the polizei, we had the possibility to talk before, he said, "Feel free to hit my cap with your hand," but I hit the nose first. So they grabbed me and threw me in the car. And after that, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry to tell you." I'd say, "We had fun." I'd say for him, that was a joke. And I grabbed his cap and put it on my head. And we had a young child with us on that tour. So I sat him on my shoulder and started walking to him with the polizei. And I tried to give the cap to the polizei, and he said, "No, that's yours." Wait a minute, I'll bring.
Great.
Feels like
Great.
the opening scene when he when he leaves. I'll put his mic back.
I told you we were going to learn the finer points of hockey.
Here it is. Nice.
That's awesome.
That's great.
And we're going
I'll put the mic back.
to put the mic back on. Ed, one more question for Yvon before we let him go.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, do you think that out of all the movies that you were a part of, could you ever have this much fun with a cast ever again? And what is your, and I guess the second part of the question is, what's your favorite story with the cast at an after party that you can tell us that isn't going to get anybody into trouble?
Ta-da-ta-ta. As I told you, it is always fun to get together because during the shooting, I was still having a drinking problem, and now I'm so proud to show them that I survived, and I'm happy and everything. And I did some crazy things because I was doing like calling George Royal at midnight. That might have been a big mistake.
Questionable idea.
Chasing
No,
those girls on the
it's
pinwheel.
always fun anyway. To get together, it's Yvon or we became like brothers. Nothing else, that's it. Whoops.
Batteries are low.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll let you go, but before we let you go, I just want to say thank you and can we get a quick send off from rookie goalie Denis Lemieux to end this podcast?
Absolutely. Hi guys. Don't trade me right fucking now.
And hang up. All right, we'll let you guys go. I appreciate you guys coming on and we're talking Slapshot and talking about the website and talking about the movie, and we'll stay in touch definitely.
Okay, sure.
Thank you,
so
guys.
Thank
much,
you very
Yvon.
much for your time.
Have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye,
See ya.
guys.